A production car charging at 600 kilowatts. A suspension reacting in 1 millisecond. A luxury sedan using 32 sensors to understand everything around it. These aren't concepts from a research lab. They're production vehicles available to buyers right now. And on July 30th, 2026, China formally published a mandatory national standard for autonomous driving system safety, GB4 472 1-2026, that suddenly makes all of them part of a much bigger story. Because these aren't isolated breakthroughs from 3 different companies. They're early signs of the same shift. And one part of this announcement matters far more than the headline features. Because the real announcement isn't the regulation. It's what Chinese automakers had already built before the regulation even arrived. The viewer shouldn't be waiting to discover what was announced. They should be waiting to discover why all of these cars suddenly point in the same direction, and why that could change what the entire car market considers normal. 600 kilowatts, 925 volts. A suspension that processes information and responds within 1 millisecond. That's the NIO ET9. Not a concept, not a prototype. A production car buyers can order today. China's broader 2026 automotive standardization plan is moving simultaneously toward AI, intelligent connected vehicles, automotive chips, software, batteries, charging, active suspension, rear-wheel steering, and automated driving. The government isn't standardizing one technology. It's building a framework for an entirely different kind of vehicle. And the ET9 is already showing what that vehicle looks like in production today. Underneath the ET9 sits Skyride, a fully active hydraulic suspension combining steer-by-wire and rear-wheel steering, processing information, and responding within 1 millisecond. Peak charging power reaches 600 kilowatts on a 925-volt architecture. That isn't a performance number added to impress reviewers. It's a fundamental change in what the physical and electrical foundations of a premium car are capable of doing. Delivered in a vehicle buyers can order right now, not a concept sitting behind glass at a motor show. When the government is simultaneously building safety standards around these exact technology areas, the ET9 stops looking like a flagship exception. It starts looking like the first preview of where the entire industry is heading. But NIO isn't the most surprising part of this story. 32 sensors, LiDAR, distributed 4D radar, high-definition cameras, Huawei Qiankun next-generation sensing hardware, a rear windowless design, electronic exterior mirrors, an intelligent cockpit built around a large digital display architecture. That's the AVATR 12. On the AVATR 12, those sensors, cameras, and interfaces aren't optional upgrades or premium add-ons. They are the vehicle's identity, the primary way the car understands, navigates, and responds to everything around it. The design philosophy doesn't start from luxury and add technology. It starts from intelligence and builds the rest around it. That's a fundamentally different approach from what most premium manufacturers have spent decades perfecting. And it's arriving in a production vehicle, not a prototype. Certain AVATR 12 configurations use an 800-volt silicon carbide platform, with charging capability reaching up to 560 kilowatts, a claimed 30 to 80% charge in 10 minutes in the specified configuration. That means charging stops are starting to disappear as a real disadvantage. NIO showed how far chassis and electrical architecture could go. AVATR is showing the same philosophy spreading into intelligent luxury. Different manufacturer, different vehicle category, identical emerging direction. Features that once looked exceptional in one vehicle are beginning to appear together across completely different ones. And that's when this stops looking like one impressive car. and starts looking like an industry-wide shift. And then comes the part that makes this genuinely hard to ignore. The Avatar 12 starts at 293,900 yuan in China. The 2026 Avatar 07 starts at 219,900 yuan, with range extender versions rated for up to 1,115 kilometers of combined range under China's testing cycle. Chinese domestic prices and overseas retail prices aren't directly comparable. Taxes, regulations, distribution, and market conditions are completely different between markets. But that's not the surprising part. But here is what the current Avatar lineup is delivering inside China. Across its configurations, buyers are looking at 800-volt silicon carbide architecture, up to 560 kilowatt peak charging, 32 smart sensors, Huawei Qiankun sensing hardware, premium cabins, large digital displays, and both pure EV and range extender powertrain options. A price structure that delivers this combination of intelligent sensing, fast charging, and premium experience is no longer asking buyers to choose between technology and value. It is packaging both together and calling that the new starting point. The surprise isn't only what these vehicles can do, it's what buyers are being asked to pay for all of it, and what that pricing says about the level of technology Avatar is willing to put into its domestic market lineup. The question is no longer whether one Chinese manufacturer can combine these technologies. It's whether this is becoming the new expectation instead of the exception. 880 kilowatts, 1,520 Newton meters, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 seconds. 574 kilowatts peak DC charging. 9 minutes. 28 seconds from 10 to 97%. 1,205 kilometers of combined CLTC range. That's the 2026 NIO E8. And it isn't trying to do just one thing well. It's also built for serious off-road driving with intelligent four-wheel drive and adjustable hydraulic suspension. Extreme performance. Genuine off-road capability. Ultra-fast charging. Long-distance range. One production vehicle from a manufacturer already operating at enormous scale. BYD is putting this combination into a vehicle buyers can purchase, not leaving it as a technology demonstrator. The gap between what was once considered a specialized prototype and what now sits in a standard manufacturer lineup is closing faster than most of the industry anticipated. But the pattern doesn't stop there. Then there's AITO's M9, Huawei ADS, Intelligent Driving Systems, a large integrated display architecture across the dashboard, rear passenger entertainment built into the vehicle structure, a premium family cabin designed around both comfort and deep digital connectivity. The M9 brings the same technology-loaded approach into the family luxury SUV, showing this pattern is no longer limited to performance flagships or futuristic prototypes. It is reaching the vehicles families actually choose for everyday life. The technology-heavy philosophy has crossed from aspirational flagships into the segment where volume decisions are made. NIO pushed chassis and charging technology. Avatar pushed intelligent luxury. BYD pushed extreme capability across categories. AITO pushed the technology-loaded approach into the family segment. These aren't the same car. That's precisely why the pattern matters. If completely different manufacturers operating across completely different vehicle categories are arriving at the same conclusion, this isn't competition anymore. It's a new direction for the industry. And if several manufacturers are doing this simultaneously, the real announcement may be much bigger than any single car. Now the pieces connect. China isn't building another affordable EV. The direction emerging across these manufacturers is a vehicle that is intelligent, connected, fast, luxurious, capable, rapidly chargeable, and competitively priced. simultaneously. China's 2026 Automotive Standardization Plan explicitly targets intelligent connected vehicles, AI, automotive chips, batteries, charging, and automated driving as active development areas. The July 30th announcement is only one piece. The ET9, AVATR12, Yangwang U8, and AITOM9 are the proof. Put them together, and something becomes visible that individual car reviews tend to miss. The boundaries between luxury, technology, performance, and price are being pushed closer together, not by one manufacturer in one category, but across multiple manufacturers, multiple vehicle types, and multiple price points at the same time. That doesn't mean every Chinese vehicle automatically outperforms every European, American, or Japanese equivalent. The shift is more specific than that. Chinese automakers are beginning to challenge what buyers should reasonably expect from a vehicle at a given price point. And that challenge is no longer coming from one direction. It's arriving across performance, luxury, off-road, and family categories simultaneously. The July 30th announcement wasn't the whole story. It was one more piece of a much larger shift, one where China is building standards around technologies its automakers are already combining into increasingly sophisticated vehicles, potentially forcing the global industry to reconsider what combination of intelligence, capability, and technology buyers should expect at a given price. Because once buyers expect more, every manufacturer has to deliver more. And once buyers start expecting more, that expectation rarely stays in one market.